Yo, what's up, everybody? Tyler Freeman with the Empire Realty Group, back on the Empire Podcast with my co-host Anthony Martin here, entrepreneur, investor, real estate agent, literally everything.
Jack
here.
of all trades.
Literally everything. So, last week we talked about the difference between a business person and an entrepreneur. However, this week I feel that it's only appropriate we talk about motivation. So a lot of people ask me, and I don't know if they ask you, but they ask me a lot about what is my motivation to keep working so hard and to keep grinding.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of want to just cover that topic for everybody because it seems to be a big thing.
No, it is.
You know, especially with motivational speakers and people listening to YouTube and all these different things. I think a lot of people kind of want to know what's the motivation, like what is motivation, and then how does that lead you, into doing whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like it's different things. So it's different for everybody, like you said. I mean, my motivation is different than your motivation, and mine and yours can be different from someone else's who's just getting started,
Mm-hmm.
And so an important quote that I learned while going through everything is that motivation will get you started, but consistency keeps you going throughout the process.
Yeah.
So, like, you're not going to be motivated every day. I'm not motivated every day. But at the same time, I know that there are things that I need to do, and that consistency and that routine will get me into doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of what keeps me going. So I feel like what gets you started and what keeps you going are two completely different things. You know what I mean?
I kind of view that in the same way. I think realistically, when somebody asks me, "Oh, what makes you motivated?" For me, I always think in my head they're asking the wrong question,
Mm-hmm.
because it goes back to what you're saying. It's not, what am I doing to keep me motivated when I'm motivated?
Mm-hmm.
It's more of the right question is, what do you do to get yourself motivated when you're not motivated?
Yes.
So what does that mindset look like, and where do you put yourself? So I kind of get what you're saying too. The motivation gets you started, but consistency keeps you going.
Mm-hmm.
Because in business, no matter what business you're in, it does not matter. It's tough.
For sure.
Like it's tough.
Yeah.
It is tough, especially when you're trying to maneuver certain businesses. I mean, to really make it passive income for you, because that's really where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really trying to get to that point, it's tough. I mean,
Agreed.
I mean, we had for the movers, we had two movers quit in the same day, and they hadn't even started yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's certain things and certain pieces that I feel play into that as a whole,
Yeah.
ideal.
Yeah, it's not just one thing. It's just, I mean, it really just depends. Like, it depends what your motivation is, because really, it could end up being like your motivation and the reason why you're consistent is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of relate this back to basketball. So Kobe doesn't drop 81 every game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Chris Paul didn't drop 60 in high school every single game. Like, they had one specific game, or even whenever Steph Curry, they were talking about him on Twitter that he wasn't that good, that whatever, and then he went out and dropped 50 on him. So that's not an every night thing, but they had that motivation to go do it.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, the work that they put in got them more consistent to where they're like, dang, he could drop 50 on us. Like, we need to lock in. Like, I don't know. And so it could be like that same type of fire, but it was burning a little bit hotter that night.
You got ignited.
Yeah, exactly.
You got ignited and harder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then, what is your motivation, not just for business, but just to keep working, just to keep chugging along?
I mean, it's a couple of things. I feel like it's not just one thing. So my main thing is really, I think, my family. So I just want to be sure that myself and my family are taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, that can look like different things. So you have people who are like, okay, well, to take care of my family, I'm cool. Like, I just need to make $40,000 a year. I'm solid. Like, we good. You know what I mean? But I need to take care of my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to do that, then I need a different type of motivation and a different type of consistency with it, because I don't need to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go work out before I do everything all day, because I don't have time. And like, I don't need to take meetings all day, every day, and go through all that if I just need to take care of myself and like my family for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think 50, 100 years down the line. And so to do that, I need to be doing completely different things. And it's not fun. Like you said, it sucks, bro. Like, it sucks. Like, some days you just be waking up. Even today, I was just laying in bed. Like, my alarm went off, and I was like, damn, again. But I just rolled over. I was like, well, just got to get to it. And then that whole cold shower thing that you told me, that also helps too. Like, just wake up, go take a cold shower. Because that sucks even worse than everything. You just sit there, you kind of just put your hand in, like, oh man, yeah, that's still cold.
You just gotta jump in there, bro.
Yeah, I learned that now. Jump in, shake a little bit. It's like, all right, yeah, I just need to get done. Then you hop out, boom, start your day, and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really my main thing. Really, my main concern is my family. Because at the end of the day, I know myself, I'm gonna get taken care of regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm gonna do what I need to do to take care of myself.
Right. Hell yeah.
But just taking care of yourself, that don't really mean nothing. Like, I feel like that's bare minimum basic necessities. Like, you have to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to take care of other people and like you want to do the big things and like take the trips and like buy the cars, and that's not really what I'm into. Like, I don't want to go buy all the cars on the lot, but I'm gonna have some nice cars. And I don't need to have the $100 million mansion, but mine gonna look nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's more of, I'm thinking of other people rather than myself only, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. Well, realistically speaking, right, and this goes for anybody out there, I feel to help somebody and to help somebody else, you have to be in a situation where you're good.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It's
you
like on an
can't-
airplane.
Right, and it's kind of what Jack told us, you know, you can't think off scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're scarce on time because you're working a 9 to 5 and then you leave that to go work, you know, another double shift over a night, you have no time to do anything. And then if you only have a part-time job and you're only working 20 hours so that you have a lot of time, then you can't operate on scarcity of money because then you can't give money, right? You can give your time, but your time only goes so far,
Yeah.
right? So I think it goes back to something of that sort where you can't operate on scarcity in either realm.
Yeah.
So to get to a point where I can go back and say, hey man, like, come on, I'll help you out, I have to be in a place where I've already helped myself to a certain point.
Yeah.
So, and then a lot of people ask me, where do you view yourself when you're successful? Like, when will you be successful? For me, I'm successful every day. Because every day I'm taking a new step forward and I'm using that as motivation and then also momentum to keep pushing.
Yes.
So I'm successful today on Monday, cool. I'm successful all day, then tomorrow I have the motivation and the momentum to keep pushing and be successful Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then you just keep building on that. And I think that's, besides my family, that's one of my biggest parts of motivation is just being successful every day and knowing that eventually I'm going to get to where I want to be. And once I get to that point, now I can go back down and I can grab everybody else.
Yeah.
And I can give Now, some people don't want it. I mean, that's
They
just
say
the-
they do, but
right.
yeah.
The reality is some people don't want it. They just want their comfortability, right? They just want to be able to put food on the table, pay their bills, have a little money to travel or eat good food. And that's cool. That's fine. And then there's some people who actually really want to get it and really want to, you know, get help and ask questions. And that's when you go back down and you start feeding everybody else. Because it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm feeding everybody. Okay, these 20 people don't want it. Okay, well, cool. Then I can take that food and feed somebody else who really wants it because you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Some people live like that, you know. 70% of America operates on a 9 to 5 or an hourly job. So, I mean, it's not unrealistic to say that there's people you know, or that I know, or that Carly knows, or Victoria knows that are cool just having a 9 to 5. They just need the one car, the one house. Like, they don't need anything else. And it's not unrealistic to say that.
Yeah. And like
So-
you said, like, that's not a bad thing.
No.
Like, just because, like I said, like, just because you don't want to buy every car on the lot doesn't mean you're not going to be happy. Like, no, you need to run a business. You need to be motivated all the time. You need to do this.
Right.
Like, that's just not for some people. And so, like we said on the last episode, like, I'll never push anyone to do that. Like, if that's not what you want to do, and if you're happy doing what you're doing, that's my number one thing. Be happy.
Yeah.
I tell my friends and my girlfriend that shit all the time, bro. Like, if you're not happy doing what you're doing, you got to change something.
Yeah, you gotta do something different.
You got to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Because she even asked me the other day. She was like, "So if you can have any job in the world, like your dream job, what would you be doing?" I'm already doing it. Like,
Yeah.
literally what I'm doing right now, like, this is all I want to do. Like, that's
Yeah.
it. I just want to invest, sell houses, invest in businesses, do other things, open other businesses.
Mhm.
As long as I'm comfortable and I'm good, then eventually we can get to that point to where we start feeding other people.
Mhm.
I'm good. Like, I'm chilling. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
because, like, even though I'm still in my routine to where I wake up early before everybody else, because one, I don't like waking up in the morning, first of all. But no, I'm not a morning person, bro. Like, I don't care. Night owl all day, every day. But that's how I work. Like, I just work better. So everyone's like, even my girlfriend's like, oh, I'm going to sleep. Okay, good night. All right, bet. Opens up laptop, I'm gonna start working.
Mhm.
Because that's when I feel like I'm wide awake and I can get a whole bunch of shit done.
Mhm.
So even if it's 11
You're
o'clock,
focused.
yeah, so I can work from 11 to 2 a.m. and I can focus and I can do all my stuff and I'll be hyper productive for those 3 hours at night. Then I'll be like, all right, bet. Well, now I'm gonna go to sleep.
Mhm.
And I can go to sleep, wake up 5-6 hours later. All right, bet. Now I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
And then now I'm getting my day started.
Yeah.
Rather than, because I feel like people kind of frame it in a different way. They're like, well, you need to be motivated and you need to start your work early and you need to do this. Like, well, I don't work well in the mornings. So I can't wake up at 8 a.m. Like, all right, time to open up my laptop and it's time to start doing this. Like, I'm not functioning that well early in the morning. I'd much rather get up, go to the gym, okay, come back, do some stuff throughout the day, take meetings, whatever, because that's when people are awake. That's when people are doing stuff.
Mhm.
As soon as nighttime comes, bro, I can be tired all day. As soon as the sun goes down, ooh, all right, bet. Time to get to work. Start working. And it's crazy, but once I heard, I don't remember who I heard say it, but someone had said it's okay to not be on everyone else's time.
Mhm.
To not be on that
Yeah.
98, 95% of people's time. And you can, if you get your work done at 11 o'clock at night, you just get your work done at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
If you get it done at 6, you get it done at 6. But as long as you're getting something done, then it's okay. And that completely changed my mind. Because then I was like, okay, now I can get into a different type of routine that works for myself.
Mhm.
And then
That's what it's about.
yeah, and then from there, okay, I'm getting stuff done, then that's my motivation because I already know, like, okay, cool. I know I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna get 1% better each day. I'm gonna keep doing this, and I'm gonna do it on my time so it doesn't feel like, dang, I didn't do anything all day today. Well, you didn't do anything all day, but it's 8 o'clock, it's 8 p.m., so you can still get stuff done. Like, because you know you're not gonna go to sleep until 2.
Yeah.
You still got a whole, 6 hours to do stuff?
Mhm.
Instead of, nah, I'm gonna just kick it, I'm gonna just watch some Netflix and chill. Like, yeah, you can do that too, but you can throw some extra work in there too, you know what I mean? So I feel like just for me personally, that helps, and once I kind of learned that, that completely changed how I do everything. Cause I was like, dang, it's really okay to go to sleep late? And I can like work like 2 hours before I go to sleep? And I'm still more productive and I can still get everything done? Oh yeah, I'll take it. It's not a big deal. So that's another one too that I guess just kind of reframing how things go for me. That helped as a motivator too, which also turned into consistency.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think one thing a lot of people don't understand and that they kind of miss and why people get unmotivated when starting an Etsy shop or start reselling clothes or shoes or even starting in a career like real estate is a lot of people don't think they get into the job to say, oh, I can control my own work schedule.
Mhm.
Like I only have to work 2 or 3 hours a day.
No.
Right? When in reality, you have to come back to your, put your pride aside, put everything aside and say, how am I going to be able to work and keep myself motivated at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Because I guarantee you, I'll be here doing 8 hours and I'll be hyper productive in my 8 hours. And I don't care how productive you are in 10, I will still be more productive in 8. And that's just because that's the way my mind is set up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to spend 8 hours being hyper productive on my work, hyper productive in entrepreneurship or whatever I'm doing every single day, 7 days a week. I can spend my 8 hours a day, and yet I still have all the rest of my 24 hours to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's still 16 hours left after that 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So after I spend my 8 hours of working, I spend 8 hours sleeping, I still have
An extra 8.
an extra 8 that I can do anything with.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's other people who say, oh, I only have to be hyper productive in 2 hours because I can do in 2 hours what you can get done in 6.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, cool. If you can do it in 2 hours, then do it in 2 hours. And I think a lot of people misread that because they think, oh, I only have to work 2 hours. And it's like, no, you have to get your stuff done. Whatever time that is, doesn't matter if it's 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. or if it's 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Whatever you have to do to get the work done.
Mm-hmm.
So I think as entrepreneurs and as business people, a lot of people lose the motivation because they're only getting so far.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like your ceiling is here, and yet they're only getting halfway there because they're being hyper-productive at 4 and they think they're doing it. They think they're doing it well, when in reality, if you just went that extra 2 hours, you would be here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or they're like you. They're night owls, and they try to do the morning thing, but they spend from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. not doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you just wasted 4 hours. You wasted a huge chunk of your day that you could have been doing stuff
Mm-hmm.
because you're a night owl and you're not a morning person.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a morning person, wake up at 10. That's why you're an entrepreneur, right? You want to run your own schedule, wake up at 10.
Mm-hmm.
Wake up at 10, start your work at 10:30 after you eat breakfast, whatever. Work from 10:30 to fucking 6 p.m. Boom, there's your day.
Yeah, I feel like just framing it like that will help so many more people.
Yeah.
Just because people are automatically wired, like, damn, my day has to start at 8.
Mhm.
Or if I need to go to the gym early or if I need to do something before, it needs to start before.
Yeah.
But bro, like, if you're more of an afternoon person, then just do stuff in the afternoon. Or if you're more of an evening or night person, then just do stuff at evening or night.
Right.
Like, don't try and force yourself, because I feel like it's different than forcing yourself out of your comfort zone. But
Mhm.
like, you just have to know when you're the most productive.
You're forcing yourself to conform.
Yes.
Is my opinion on that.
Yes.
I think you're forcing yourself to conform to what other people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, let's be honest, I'm not going to wake up the same time as The Rock. I'm not going to wake up at no 4 a.m. every goddamn day. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, and yes, he works hard. Very successful man. Same thing with Kevin Hart. He wakes up at freaking 5 a.m. every morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do that, though.
I feel that.
I'm just not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because, for me, I stay up to 11 probably every night.
Mm-hmm.
And if not a little bit later, now around 12, I'm probably laying in bed trying to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to fall asleep at 12, wake up at 5, and then be hyper productive from 5:01 to 12 p.m., like to 12 a.m. again. It's just not going to happen for me.
Yeah.
So I found out a long time ago, like, waking up at 5 ain't for me. You know what I mean? When we had early morning practices for basketball in high school,
Mm-hmm.
we had 6 a.m. practices, and I'm like, damn, 6:01? Like, I'm not ready to do suicides at 6:01.
Yeah.
I'm just not. Now, if you catch me at 8, okay, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. 7, I'm still there, but 6:01,
Nah.
I'm not ready to do a Larry Bird at 6:01. You know what I mean? And then if you catch me in the afternoon, I'm rejuvenated from the entire day of stuff. So now I'm like, okay, yeah. Like, you catch me at 5 p.m., oh yeah, I'm really ready to do some shit. You know what I mean? I'm really ready to get it on, and I can hit it easy.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of framing your day in the way that works for you. And I think everybody loses that motivation because everybody you see is like, oh, you have to wake up at 4 a.m. to be
Mhm.
successful. Like, you have to wake up at 4 a.m., go to the gym, and then you immediately have to journal, and then you immediately have to read,
Mhm.
and then you immediately have to do this, and you immediately have to do that. And then at 8 a.m. when you step in the office, you're ready to go. It's like, nah.
Yeah. If that don't work for you, it just doesn't work for you.
Yeah, because I've tried it. I've done workouts in the morning, and I've done workouts at night. I'd much prefer doing a workout at night because then I sleep better.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm sleeping better. I'm waking up rejuvenated after my long night of sleep, or I guess I sleep like 6 hours, so medium night sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've slept for my 6 hours, and now I wake up and I feel way, way better
Mm-hmm.
than if I go work out in the morning.
Yeah.
But whereas you take Jeff has to work out in the morning. Because if he does not work out in the morning, he doesn't function.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's odd.
And my
He
dad's
just-
the same way.
You know, and that's the way he has to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So our schedules are somewhat opposite, but yet they both work for us.
Yeah.
It's not like my schedule is worse than his or his is worse than mine. That's what works for him, and I do what works for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people you lose the motivation because they try and conform to what everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude, just do you.
Yeah.
Just do you.
Yeah. Because, like I said before, the motivation is not going to stay forever. And so, if you're building that routine and that consistency from the initial motivation, the days when you're tired and the days that you're not motivated, you're already in that routine. and it already works for you, so that you can just keep going and you can just keep building. So if I'm not motivated today, I already did what I needed to do for the day. Like, all right, well, I'm just not really feeling it today. Like, I'm gonna just kind of chill at home. Like, I need to take a day for myself. I need to rest, whatever. As soon as Tuesday hits, boom, you're right back at it again.
Yep.
And like, you feel better. Like, yeah, damn, I needed that rest. Like, all right, cool. And then you're back again. Boom, you got that motivation already, and then you're going again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because you know yourself and you already know what works for you. You're in that routine already, so that you don't need to rely on motivation all the time, because it's not going to be there all the time. Like, you might want to go out and celebrate someone, go out for drinks or something. If you're out drinking until 2 and you got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go work out, that's not going to work for you, bro. Like, you're not going to be motivated to wake up to go work out.
And that workout's going to be shitty.
Yes, you're going to feel horrible.
Shitty.
Because I promise, I've done it before. It's not fun. So it's okay to take time to like rest. You don't have to be constantly motivated 100% of the time, on go every single day, because I tried to do it. And coming from experience, it does not work out that well. You can only sustain it for so long. And so your body will tell you when it needs rest, and your body will tell you like, hey bro, like we need to chill. Like we need to kind of slow it down. Like you need to relax. No, I have to get it. Like, yeah, I understand, but like you also need sleep. And like you also like need to relax.
Right.
Because, and even my girlfriend gets on me to this day, I will go to sleep so late. I think last night I went to sleep at like, so mind you, this morning I didn't go work out. So after this I'm gonna go work out.
He had the pretext down.
Yeah. So I went to bed at 3:30 last night, because I just be up.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm tossing and turning, I'm trying to go to sleep. Nah, bro, I'm just up. Like, tough.
You just weren't tired.
No, not at all. Alarm went off at 8. I was like, ah, damn. Well, time to get up. I just got up. 5 hours. Off 5 hours, I'm straight. Like, I'm good. I can go from when I woke up at 8 a.m. this morning. I can probably go again without taking a nap, without doing anything, till about 12 or 1.
Yeah.
And I'll just go, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
But like, or like my mom or like my girlfriend, nah, they need that sleep. Like, they need to sleep, because they can't function without it, which like, okay, I understand. So then that means if you're going to bed at 11, then you're probably going to need to wake up by like 7.
Yeah.
And so you got your full 8 hours, you're still up by 7, and then you can still do everything that you need to do for the day. But for me, like, hey bro, if I need 8 hours, I'm gonna sleep until 10. Because me waking up at 6, like, that's just not gonna work for me. But at a time, whenever I was going through the whole process of opening up the shop, I was leaving the shop by like 12:30. So I'm not getting home and showering and eating and everything until like 1:30. And I'm not going to sleep till 2. But then I still have to wake up in the morning at 5 to go work out. And then I have to go to work. And then right after work, I have to go meet with contractors. And then I have to go do stuff after. And then it's again the next day.
Yeah.
So, but then thankfully, I don't have to work out the next day. Still got to go to work. Still got to do everything else. So on average, I think I was looking at my sleep health. And this is whenever I was kind of like, okay, I should probably chill. Bro, for a week, it said on average, I got about, I think it was 2 hours and like 37 minutes on average of sleep for the week. But like, I was still.
Sounds like my high school schedule.
Yeah, but I was still just boom, 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 just going every single day. And then there was a point where I was like, yeah, I'll probably just take today off. I'll probably just chill today. But I would feel, and still I'm trying to work on this now. If I take a day off, bro, I feel horrible. Like, I feel like I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like, dang. Because even yesterday was Sunday. I think on Saturday we were on the phone for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And we were discussing everything. So then I realized, like, okay, if I'm doing something like that, then I at least feel a little bit productive, because we kind of got something done. And like, that's fine. I didn't really need to leave my house.
Right.
But if I'm just chilling, just watching Netflix, not really doing nothing, like, I get antsy.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, like, I need to go to the gym. You already went today. Yeah, I need to go again. Like, I need to do something
I
else.
need to do something, yeah.
And so that's kind of how I, fortunately and unfortunately, wired my body now. So now I have to do something all the time. And if I don't, I feel super unproductive. But now I'm telling people now, like, it's okay to not be motivated and not to be productive 120% of the time. You do sometimes need that rest, but as long as you build that base of, from where your motivation starts and build that into consistency. If you take that day or two off, you can come back and still be consistent, and then get that motivation back, and then just run it back again.
Yeah. So it's kind of similar to Atomic Habits, right?
Yes.
Like the book
Exactly.
talks about the 1%, like getting 1% better every day, or make your bed, right?
Yeah,
Something like that.
I thought about that this morning too, as I was throwing myself out of bed. I was like, I just need to make my bed. I was like, that's all I need to do. I just gotta make my bed, bro. Because if I do that one thing, I'm good. And then we can get my day rolling.
Yeah.
But if I'm just leaving that corner unfolded just so I can come home and just drop right in, nah, that's not gonna work. I didn't do anything today.
You're gonna be driving like, damn, I didn't make my
I should have
bed.
made my bed. You know, hey, bro, I'm gonna be late. I gotta go home and make my bed. I can't do this.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, it's exactly the same thing. And once I read, wow, Atomic Habits, not make your bed, but getting 1% better each day. I even pray about that at night too. Like, I just want to get a little bit closer to what I'm trying to do the next day. Or like, I just want to get 1% better to whatever I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like thinking of it like that helps so much. So it helps me not to overthink things. It helps me not to think 10 years way far down the line when I also need to focus about today and tomorrow.
Mhm.
So that 1% getting better each day helps, because even if I'm not the most crazy productive throughout the day, well, I did end up doing this, so it works out. Like, okay, like I did do something today at least, or like, well, I did go to the gym, and then I did take that phone call, so like, all right, I bet.
Mhm.
Like that works out for me.
Yeah, I mean, progress is good no matter if it's fast, slow, whatever.
Mhm.
I think that's what a lot of people kind of misuse, is the fact that you can just take one step. You don't have to take 10 leaps
Mhm.
to be productive and to keep that progression going.
Mhm.
So when I read Atomic Habits the first time, that was something that I kind of soaked in a lot, was that, damn, I don't have to be uber productive every single day
Mhm.
to make it worth it.
Yeah.
Literally, if I just focus on the little details and the fine-tune things, and I just fine-tune myself, my schedule, what I'm doing, who I'm talking to, if I just fine-tune those things just a little bit,
Mhm.
right? Not even a lot. It's like going from volume 9 to volume 11. If I just do that every single day, then eventually I will get to where I want to be, and I don't have to take all that time and all those steps at once.
Mhm.
Because it's like a staircase, right? You can't climb the staircase at once in one step.
Yeah.
You have to take it step by step. You might be able to skip one
Mhm.
along the way, and that's cool if you can do that, but you can't sustain that.
Mhm.
If you're climbing a 6-story building, you can't sustain skipping one step. You're gonna get tired. Your legs
Your
are gonna
legs
give
gonna
out.
hurt.
You're gonna be freaking noodles at the end of that.
Mhm.
So taking the one step at a time and just focusing on that next step. And that was one of the biggest things I got from reading it the first time, and now I'm rereading it because I bought a workbook to go with it.
Mhm.
So now I have the workbook for Atomic Habits, so I'm actually going through it again to see what I get this time. So from the first time I got, hey, just be 1% better. You know, it's like the example they give in the book is about the bike racers.
Mhm.
You know, and they were saying this team was sucky, like they didn't win anything, they were terrible, just by changing little things, like the freaking trailer that held the bikes, to
Mhm.
paint it white, so that there's no dust or anything in there to make sure the bikes are pure precision, right? Even that helped change the whole dynamic of the team.
Mhm.
And it's just little things like that. You just want to keep taking steps.
Yeah.
I feel a lot of people don't do that. They just see, okay, this is my 20-year goal. I'm going to get there. It's like, well, what are you doing tomorrow to get there?
Mhm.
What are you doing next month to get there?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Well, what are you doing next year? What's your plan next year to get here? Well, actually, I don't know. Well, then how are you ever going to get here in 20 years if you don't know what you're doing right now? If you don't know what you're doing Monday through Friday?
Mhm.
Or Saturday or Sunday? You always have to be strategic and take those steps, and I feel a lot of people miss that.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. I just feel like it's okay, to me at least, if you don't really know 20 years down the line where you're really trying to go. But as long as you have like that kind of inkling of like, okay, I want to kind of be around here, which, okay, that's cool. But you need to take the steps to get there.
Mhm.
Don't just say, I want to get here. Because, yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that you want to get there. I want to get there too. But what are you doing, like you said, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to get there?
Yeah. Right.
And you don't have to, and I try to get out of this habit too of like, all right, it's the first of the month. All right, on the first of the month, I'm gonna start doing this. Like, why wait until the first?
Just do it tomorrow.
Yeah, just literally, like, yes, just do it tomorrow.
Mhm.
Or even if it's, and to me, I do this sometimes too because it works for me. If it's a Wednesday, and like I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I kind of want to start doing this. Okay, bet. Monday rolls around, I'm gonna start doing it because there's some things for me. I'm already doing stuff throughout the week, so I don't want to throw something else onto my plate because my Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I'm already doing stuff throughout the day.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'm like,
planned out.
yeah, so I'm not gonna add more stuff onto there and try and like stack everything and overwhelm myself. Like, all right,
Mhm.
I'm gonna just wait until Monday, and then I'm gonna start doing it like this, and then I'm gonna start doing this, because at least if I do that, I'll know where I'm headed at least, and then I'm kind of taking steps in the right direction, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. Because I even feel like if you're going this way, coming this way, or even coming this way, those are still steps in the right direction.
Mhm.
It's just not a straight line, but even coming like this is better than not moving at all.
Right, exactly. Well, for me, I kind of view it in the sense of, well, back when I was in high school and in early college life, I always viewed it as I have to stay in this straight line and I have to make sure that I'm doing this and have my 10-year goal, my 20-year goal, 30-year goal, whatever, right? You have your professors who ask you, right, business professors, what's your 10-year goal? I'm not worried about your 1-year goal. What's your 10-year goal? And now I'm viewing it, now that I have more so entrepreneurs around me and people who have done it, like Jack, Craig, you know, Chris, people of that nature, they've shown me that a straight line isn't always the fastest route.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to go to your right or your left, and then you have to figure it out and pivot,
Yes.
right? Because, like you said, even if you're going skewed, you're still going in the right direction and making that progress.
Mm-hmm.
And now also you know, okay, well, I can't make this mistake again. I have to go over here and do this.
Mm-hmm.
So now I can keep moving forward. Okay, now I got stuck again. Well, now I have to turn left and I have to go a little bit farther.
Yeah.
Right? If it was a straight line, if it was easy, then I feel everyone would do it and everyone would be a gazillionaire and there would be no sense of money at all ever with anybody. You know, no entrepreneur would ever have a struggle or there would be never another innovation, right?
Mhm.
Or another thought process. I don't think any of those would exist if it was just as easy as taking a straight line.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I've also gained with time is, right, a lot of people say, well, I want to be here in 20 years. It's like, okay, cool, but what if you could do it in 5? And I think that's another reason people lose motivation because they underestimate what they can do in 10 years and they overestimate what they can do in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So since they're overestimating the 1 year, right, and their 10-year goal is, I don't know, have $1 million, right? I want to have $1 million in 10 years. Okay, but in 1 year, you want to gain 800,000 of that. Then it's like, whoa, you're kind of shooting far for your first year. And realistically, over 9 years, you just want to make 200,000.
Mhm.
So when their first year hits and they're like, damn, I only made 150 grand this year. Fuck it, I'm done with this plan. Now I'm unmotivated. When in reality, if you'd have just made 150 grand those 10 years, you would have had over $1 million at the 10-year mark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people view it like, oh, I failed because I didn't hit my number, when in reality, you hit a really good number, and if you hit that number over time and grew it over time, you'd have more than what you're estimating in 10 years. So why are you putting a 10-year limit on yourself?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't think about where I'm going to be in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years anymore. I kind of know, I kind of tell myself, by the time I'm 60, I want A, B, and C.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I'm 60. I don't care when I get it, from when I'm 25 to 60, I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to have it by the time I'm 60. Come hell or high water, by the time I'm 60, I'm doing all of this.
Yeah.
So I don't care if I hit it when I'm 30, 35, 38, 41, I don't give a damn.
26.
Right, 26,
Mhm.
I can hit it in a year. If I do, awesome. But I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not pushing past 60.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I frame it in my mind a little differently now, in the sense that time is really on my side, and it's not working against me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm young. I'm
Mhm.
25. I can work, if all else fails, when I'm 30 years old. If I crash and burn in every business I try and start from now until then, I'll be 30, working at a 9 to 5, just like 99% of Americans already are, and I'll be able to feed my family, feed myself, and we'll be able to have a little fun money, and I'll live comfortably. That's what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, right now, time is on my side. And when you're starting out, you have to be ready to say, hey, in this first year, it might not work out exactly how I'm planning, but I'm making that progress.
Mhm.
I'm learning what not to do.
Mhm.
Then I can make my pivots, change my scenarios, and then I can keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
Because now I know by the time I'm 60, I want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I have to start here.
Yeah.
I have to start somewhere. I can't make that jump and that leap.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take it step by step.
Yeah.
And I think that's another reason people lose motivation is they have that inspiring thought, or they want to be a Warren Buffett,
Mm-hmm.
or they want to own Blackstone,
Mhm.
or they want to buy TJ Maxx. They want to do all these things, and yet they're like, yeah, in 20 years, right, Gary Vee, in 20 years I'm going to buy the Jets. No, he's not saying that, right? Gary Vee is not out there saying in 20 years I'm going to buy the Jets. He says, at one point I will buy the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
At one point I'll own the Jets, but for right now, I'm taking step by step.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm opening my new media company. Okay, cool. I'm starting my new business venture. Okay, cool. And a lot of people don't know he started off selling mugs. I don't know what kind of motivation you can get from selling mugs.
He's just on a different type of time. Like,
Mhm.
I like him because he's a hustler and he also knows how to leverage his time too.
Mhm.
Like, he understood at a young age, like, 50 is not that old. Like,
no, it's not.
you can still do a lot when you're 50.
So
you can
much.
do
dude.
a lot when you're 40. And so I feel like people, they're like, damn, I'm about to hit 30. Like, my life's over. Like, I got to get it all together. Like, everything needs to be figured out.
Mhm.
Well, not necessarily. Like, everyone's path is completely different. So, like, you might hit $1 million at 40. I might hit $1 million at 50. Like, you just
Mhm.
don't know. Like, it really
Right.
just depends. But I feel like as long as you kind of understand the concept of time and how much time you really have, you can achieve the goals that you want.
Mhm.
But at the same time, that's not me saying, like, oh, yeah, you got time. Like, yeah, you're good. Because at the end of the day, like, the first of the month is going to come every single month.
Mhm.
Like, you still have things that you need to do. So
Right.
you don't need to just be chilling all the time. So if you want to get to a certain point, you have to do certain things. And if you want to do things that people can't do, you have to do the things that people aren't willing to do.
Right.
So if that means waking up early in the morning and getting your shit done, that's just what you got to do. And so that's what I realized before I even started the shop. I was like, damn,
Bro,
I need to get into this now.
I have to pause for a second. I need you to say that statement again so everyone can hear it one more time. Because that's something that a lot of people skip over and they never fucking think about. They never fucking think about. And coaches will tell you when you're in sports. And then people tell you when you're trying to do something different. When you're trying to do Math Olympiad or be a pianist or be the best violinist on earth, right? I need you to say that statement one more time so that everybody can hear it again. Because I feel like people they hear it and they don't register it enough.
Mhm.
And I think that's why they look at somebody as us and they're like, damn, y'all are crazy. Y'all are doing all this stuff. Well, I mean, if you would have listened to everybody, what everybody told you your whole life, and you heard everybody say this shit, then you would have actually understood why it seems like we're crazy, number one. But number two, why just listening to a motivational speaker isn't going to help you.
Mhm.
Right? Because somebody can hype you up.
Yeah.
I can get hyped up in a matter of 5 minutes.
Mhm.
But where is that going to sustain me? How is that going to sustain what I'm trying to do? My mindset, my thought process. So go ahead and say that one more time so everybody can hear it again.
So you can't do. Man, I really, really need y'all to understand this. Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't understand it because, like you said, I've heard it my whole life.
Mhm.
If you want to be the best, you gotta do things people aren't doing. I'm like, yeah. And I kind of just shrugged it off like that.
yeah.
But if you want to do things that people aren't doing, you have to do the things that people aren't willing to do. And you have to do the things that everyone isn't doing. So what is everyone doing? And this is a generalization too. So I'm not saying that everyone does this. But you're going to wake up, you're going to go to work, you're going to go work, get off at 5. Okay, cool, you can get off. And so people who are our age, like 20, 25, in our 20s, whatever, hey, yo, what are y'all doing? Hey, y'all want to go to the bar? Yeah, bet. Yo, we're going to go to the club tonight. All right, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're going to get a section. All right, yeah, cool. And then that's what y'all going to do.
And there goes your paycheck.
Yeah.
There goes
And
your
like,
paycheck.
Because like I've done it too. Like I've dropped bread on bottles and sections and everything, and I wasted my check on sneakers and the whole nine. I've done it all. I've done all that.
Man.
But once I kind of realized, like, damn, I can't keep doing that if I'm trying to get to this spot.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me personally, I don't even like going out like that anyway. So to me, it was really nothing to cut all that extra stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't spend money on anything. The only thing I really spend money on is like food.
Yeah.
And like paying bills. Like that's it. Because I know where I'm trying to go, and not everyone can go there.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that everyone can't go there, that means I need to be doing something different than what everyone else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
So then that goes back to the whole Atomic Habits thing. Okay, well I just need to take it one step at a time every single day. So okay, first I'm gonna start waking up, I'm gonna start working out. Because then I'm gonna get my day started earlier and I'm gonna do all this throughout the day. All right, cool. So if I do that, then that means I start my day 3 hours earlier, which means by the time I'm done working out, I get home, I eat, watch a YouTube video, listen to a podcast, something like that. I already did way more than everyone else has already done by the time they wake up.
Right.
So then for me, okay, cool. Now I can go work till 5. Same thing everyone else is doing, but I just had that extra 3 hours. Once it hits 5:30, get home. All right, bet it's 6. All right, cool. I'm work from 6 to 8, then I can chill. So you already worked an extra 5 hours on top of what everyone else is working.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're gonna go out. We're gonna do this. Like, you should pull up. No, I'm good. Dang, you never want to go out. You're right. Because
You're
if
right.
y'all are going where I'm going, y'all wouldn't go out either.
Right.
Because I'm gonna go out later, and y'all are gonna see if I post it. Y'all are gonna see, damn, he's in Cabo. Damn, he's in Italy. Damn, like, dang, bro, how are you doing this? Yeah, I'm trying to get like you. I was trying to get you like me before.
Right.
You just didn't want to get like me before because you want to do all this stuff here. But I'm trying to set myself up and set my family up in the future to where we can do this all the time and we can do this every day.
Yeah.
And it's not anything to me or to the people who I hang out with because they put in the work before.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, being completely honest, your 20s, they're for you to put in work and they're for you to mess up
Mm-hmm.
and to not know what you're doing. Like, it's cool because we have time. Like, try everything.
Mm-hmm.
Do everything.
Yeah.
Because even if something, you're like, dang, I really like this. Like, let me try it out. You're going to be really motivated to try it out because you really like it. And if it works and you stay consistent, boom, you're going to shoot up and it's going to work out in your wildest possible dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't, okay, well, on to the next thing. Just
Yeah.
keep going. Because
Yeah.
it's not like, and even if you have a family to feed, like, you can still do what you want to do on the side. Because you can still work from 9 to 5, and then work again from 7 to 9, and then that extra 7 to 9 that you're putting in, that's going to get you that 1% or that one step closer to doing what you want to do.
Right.
And I feel like people overlook that because they see, well, I'm here, and these people are over here. Damn, I'm trying to get like you. Well, I took a lot of steps to get here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of time to stay in, doing a lot of things that I didn't want to do, but it paid off to the point to where we are right now.
Right. Nobody sees that back end work.
No,
the
not
back,
at all.
The backstage pass.
Yeah,
Nobody
and
gets that.
to me, that's fine. I get it. I don't need people to see that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care if people see that. I just know people like to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I post it, because people like the whole, oh, day in the life of blah, blah, blah. Or like, oh, you're starting a podcast? People like hearing and seeing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But are you going to implement it, though? Are you
Right.
actually going to take the steps to do what you need to do to get to where you say you want to be? Because if not, then, like, not everyone has to be a hustler. Not everyone has to be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's cool. Like, you're still the homie. Like, you're still cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's not, oh, you're not a hustler. I can't be cool with you. Nah, like, you're still cool. But don't tell me I want to do this. Hey, you're doing this. I want to do this, too. Okay, so do A, B, C, and D. Okay, yeah, cool. So did you do A? Nah, man, so I was just really, all right, well, you're just wasting my time at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good. Like, you can say it all day till you're blue in the face, but you need to take action. Like, you need to execute, and you don't need to jump from A to D.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to start, like how they do math problems in school,
Mm-hmm.
A1, B1, C3, like, or what is it called, like 1A, 1B, 1C. Now you're a 2, or you're a B. Okay, B2, B, like, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, that's my take on it. Like, one step better each day is perfectly fine. But you just need to know what you're doing and where you're going. And you need to understand what you need to do to get to those points.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do what everyone else is doing. You gotta go outside the norm, like go outside the box in a sense, if that makes sense.
Well, I always get this comment a lot, and I mean, obviously it's something everybody says, especially our age, or a little bit younger, or a little bit older, right? Between, I would say, the 18 to probably 30, 32 year mark. A lot of people comment and they'll say, oh, well, like I only have 24 hours in a day.
It's a long time.
And I mean, when you really break it down, because then I ask somebody this, right? I'm like, okay, you got 24 hours, I got 24 hours, let's break it down. So you work at 9 to 5, right? So you clock in at 9, leave at 5, right? Okay, so that's 8 hours.
Mhm.
You're working 8 hours,
Mhm.
okay, with an hour lunch,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you already have an hour off in between there. So, but we're going to count that as working time. So you have your 8-hour work schedule. Let's say you sleep 8 hours a night. Okay, well, what's 8 plus 8? And they're like, 16. Okay, so what's 24 minus 16? 8. So you have another 8 hours in your day where you could do stuff, right? Let's just say it takes you an hour to get ready for bed and an hour to get ready in the morning. Okay, so now you're at 18 hours in total, right? Because they're like, oh, I got to get ready for work. I got to eat breakfast. Okay, how long does it take you? I'd say like an hour. Okay, so an hour on each.
So
You're at 18, right? You're at 18. So you're at 6 hours, okay? And then let's say they're like, oh, well, you know, I have to walk my dog. How long does that take you? An hour. Okay, you do it once a day? Yeah. Okay, so now you're at 19 hours. You still have 5 hours. What else do you do? Oh, well, me and my girls just went to date night. Like, we do a date night once a week. Okay, so let's count that you and your girl, you and your man do a date night every single night of the week, 7 days a week. Okay? They're like, all right, cool. Okay, so I'm like, what is that, 2 hours for you to eat? For you to drive there, eat, and then leave? Yeah, about. Okay, so now you're at 21. You still have 3 hours left. What are you spending them doing? Because you've already worked, you've already slept, you've already gotten ready, walked your dog, and had a date night every single night.
I even throw the gym in there too, because you still have 2 hours.
Yeah, so let's say, okay, even 2 hours, right? You spend two hours at the gym. You still have an hour left over. In an hour, you could do a whole lot of stuff. And that's not even counting, like I said, the lunch break.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was working and I was clocking in and clocking out, even on my hour lunch break, I was doing shit. Even on my hour lunch break, I was going to take meetings. I was taking phone calls. I was doing different things that would propel me forward. Whether that was going to resell some shoes, going to resell a hoodie, going to another store because they just had a massive drop, so I'm going to get something. Right when I was in high school, reselling. When I was in college, right, I was using those times after I was working after class. I was using all those times to build something up or to try something new. And I think a lot of people, they frame their 24 hours and they're like, oh, well, I don't have motivation to do anything because I only have 24 hours. Like, I can't do everything. I only have 24 hours. And that's like what we just said. What I just gave you was an example of a 7-day week. If you were to work every single day, 7 days a week.
I didn't even think about that.
Have a date night every single week. Walk your dog, get ready, and sleep every single day of every single week. Throughout that week, you still have 7 extra hours that you could put into something.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And not everybody works 7 days a week. You're not going to work your 9 to 5 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, well, I have 2 jobs. I work during the week and I work on the weekends. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, how long do you work on weekends? 10 hours a day. Okay, so 24 minus 10, yeah? And then you add 8. Okay, so that's 18. So you still have 6.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got ready 2 hours? Okay, so you're at 20. So you got 4 hours left over, Saturday and Sunday. That's with 2 jobs, with sleeping, with taking date nights all the time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when somebody tells me that, I just kind of sit there and just think like, 24 hours. Yeah. But what you don't understand is we're on the same type of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We're on the same amount of time. God didn't magically gift me with 36 hours a day.
I wish.
Like I didn't get gifted more time than you.
Mm-hmm.
We have the same amount of time. You're just using yours less wise than me. And I think having that motivation of, you know, hey, you're here, I want to be here, like you said, right? They're like, I want to be where you're at. I want to be over here. I want to be where the big dogs are. Okay, well, spend your 2 extra hours or 7 extra hours a week. Spend those taking the steps to get over here. And you won't lose that motivation of saying, hey, I can get there at one point. Because you're going to steadily, right? Because after you spend 7 extra hours a week, let's say in 1 year, right? You're looking at your timeline of 1 year. In 1 year, you could have quit your job, right? You could have dropped down to part-time, then quit your second job. So you're only doing your part-time main job through the week, and now you're having all this extra time to just work on whatever else you want to work on. So in 1 year, you could drop it down to where you're only clocking in and clocking out 20 hours a week. And you're doing everything else that you want to do and then some. Plus still making money because you're already doing whatever else you were doing on the side. Whether that be Etsy craft stores, freaking designing t-shirts, designing shoes, hats, clothes, designing, I know this is a big business based off of real estate, is housewarming gifts or closing gifts. People make huge businesses off of that. Like massive. And then I've even seen people and met people who do that, who have closing gifts, and then they partner with Target or Walmart. And they start making their stuff mass production and actually selling it to Walmart or Target. And that didn't just happen overnight. They didn't just show up to a Target store like, hey, look what I made. You like it? Yeah? Okay, cool. Give me $1 million and I'll mass produce this.
Yeah.
And it happened like that. They spent their extra time every day off of their 24 hours from their day job, and they said, hey, look, I have 2 extra hours every single day. Okay, let me use these to the best of my ability, and then let me create the life that I want based off the life that I have now.
That's a good way to put it.
And that's why I think a lot of people miss. And that also goes to the motivation factor of they lose it. They lose the motivation. Because they're like, oh man, I gotta go clock in again. Okay. All right, time to clock out. Cool. Okay, now let me go eat. Oh yeah, let's go to the bar. Let's just drink a little bit. Okay, cool. Now we're back at home. Let me just watch some Netflix because I don't want to do that work. Then a year goes by and they're like, damn, I just spent a whole year in this job going to the bar Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every single weekend, and I haven't done shit. And I don't have shit to show for it. It's like, well, yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
you do.
Even to that, yeah? No,
yeah, you do. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you're right.
I mean, even to that point, and like we've been saying in the last episode and even in this one, if that's not what you want, that's okay. If you want to go out each weekend and do that, that's fine. Like, I'm not going to sit here and down talk people who do that or want to do that or that's all that they want. Cool. Like, I'll probably see you in a couple months. I'll pop out in like 3-4 months. I'll see you there. But I just can't do that every day. One, because that's not even my personality. I don't even like doing that. So for me, that's what helps me from staying out and not doing all that extra stuff, because I really just want to stay home. And so for me, I just kind of think, okay, well, if I'm staying home, I might as well be doing something. And then that's kind of how I get that extra consistency and that extra work in, because I don't mind being by myself and I don't mind staying at home.
Right.
And if you do want to get there and you are doing stuff like that, you have to think too, what do I need to do to get to that point? And so once you kind of figure that out, then you can take that 1% each day or that one step each day. And then you're going to turn around in a year and you're going to look from where you were to where you are now. And the difference is going to be insane. It's going to be ridiculous.
It's crazy.
And so even for me, like a year ago, I started my barbershop. And so I'm at a different point in my life now. And I look back and I was like, dang, maybe I should have listened to everyone. Like, I came really far because even a year previous to that was completely different. So from 2 years ago to today, my life has completely changed. It's completely different. And it just started from just taking one step each day. Whether that's, like you said, at your job, like you would go and you go out and you flip sneakers and sell hoodies and all that stuff. I couldn't even leave to go do that. But I would sit there on my lunch break and I would watch podcast videos. I'd watch Gary Vee videos. Or I'd open up my laptop and I'd start researching some stuff. Just in that quick, because sometimes my lunch wasn't even an hour. I'd have to eat lunch in like 20, 30 minutes because
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and do work. But in that 20, 30 minutes, I'd have that little podcast up while I'm eating, chilling. Okay, or like, dang, I need to finish up this before I go back. Do a couple minutes of research, eat, and then boom, I'm right back.
Mhm.
But that extra 15 to 30 minutes of like me kind of reframing my mindset by watching that podcast, or even me working and researching, obviously if I do that 4 days out the week, that's an extra hour that I put in at work.
Mhm.
And then if I go home and then I work
Right.
again, that's an extra hour that I put in each day when I'm coming home.
Yeah.
So then those 2 hours over the span of a year, that adds
Yeah.
up to a lot.
They add up crazy.
So that's just my take on it, because you don't need to take those leaps and bounds every single day, but you also need to take advantage of the time that you have. And if you only have that hour a day or that 2 hours a day,
Mhm.
you don't have to take the full 2 hours a day. Like, oh, I need to be super hyper productive for those 2 hours, so that's all I have. Just be productive for an hour.
Mhm.
And then just, if you watch Netflix and chill before you go to sleep, then do that too. And then you can still be productive. You got to chill at home, and then boom, you do it again the next day.
Mhm.
Then that's whenever you start building that routine, and then whenever you see things are starting to change, that's when the motivation kicks into high gear. Then you can be consistent off of that.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's when it builds and builds and builds and builds. And then you look down and dang, I'm pretty high up.
Mhm.
And then that's kind of, to me, how it works and how it's worked for me too.
Mhm. Yeah, and just to go back on his point, hey, if you want to do that kind of stuff, man, do it. You know what I mean? I've never been one to judge, and especially from the place that I came from, which, you know, I kind of touched on in the last episode, in the first episode, was, you know, like, I came from the hood. Like, I came from where people drink, smoke, you know, do that shit all the time.
Mhm.
You know, we'd be out on the driveway hooping, and then people would be rolling blunts and smoking, and then there was gang violence all the time. So if you want to be in the sense of, yeah, man, like, this is where I grew up, you know, going to the bar every weekend, or that's where I want to be. I want to be at the bar Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because that's where all my friends are. Cool, bro. Do it. All my friends were on the basketball court, so I was always on the court
Mhm.
growing up, all the time, because that's where all my friends were. So if that's where all your friends are, and that's where you want to be, and you feel comfortable doing that, fuck it, do it.
Mhm.
Because it's called the 1% for a reason, right? Like, they don't put the 5%ers at 1%. And that's a simple reason, because the 1% did a lot of things that the 5% didn't do.
And then they're at a different point.
Right.
Because the 5% didn't do what the 1% did.
Right.
So it's the same thing that I said earlier.
Yeah, and then you want to look at, oh, well, hey, look, if being top 10% is good for you, cool. If being bottom 50% is cool for you, do it. Like, fuck it. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. It's just, you have to have your motivation. You have to know what you're stepping, where you're stepping on, right? Because you don't want to say, oh, I want to be, let's just say, the world's best beer chugger. If you're not drinking at least one beer every single day, you're not getting 1% better, and you're never going to reach that goal. And you're going to lose motivation because they give you a pitcher and you can't fucking chug that shit. Simple. If you want to be the guy who can smoke the most blunts in a row, cool, do it. Just make sure you're making your 1% mark to be able to get there. Because if not, you'll never have that motivation or the consistency to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for us. We want to be in 1%. For us to get to the top 1%, we can't do what the bottom 90% does. Because that doesn't equal 1%.
Not at all.
That equals top 10. I'm not shooting for top 10, I'm shooting for top 1. So if I'm shooting for top 1, I have to take steps in order to get myself there.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes for anybody in any profession, wherever you want to go. If you want to have kids, obviously you got to take steps to have kids. They don't just pop out.
Yeah.
They're just not made off magic. You know what I mean? So if you want things, you have to frame your time and frame that steps to wherever you want to go. And that's how I think about it too. So,
Yeah, I agree.
so going based off of that, right? Because I know those kind of ideologies aren't for everybody, right? Like, you know, everything that I just said. However, I want you to give kind of your last little tip on motivation, or maybe how to gain it, or how to use it to your advantage before we go ahead and start closing this thing out.
For sure. I mean, honestly, bro, it's the same thing we've been saying for the last, hour? All you really need to do don't, because I overwhelm myself a lot with like, I'm trying to think so far and I'm trying to have my life look like this. But it really comes down to, I feel like you just need to get 1% better each day. That's it. One step might not even be 1%. It might even be 0.5%. If you got 0.5% better than you were yesterday, technically you're still better than what you were yesterday.
Yeah.
And you're putting yourself in a better position. So if you want to make changes in your life, you need to start and think like, okay, how do I get 1% better today? What's something that I need to do to make myself 1% better? Well, I don't make my bed in the morning. I need to start making my bed. That's my first win throughout the whole day. Starts my day, whatever. Oh, I need to start going to the gym. Okay, you start going to the gym. And then you're like, okay, I went to the gym today, and I need to go to the gym tomorrow. Again. And then once that becomes part of your routine, then it becomes consistency. Once it's consistency, you don't really need the motivation anymore. I feel like you need the motivation to start and the consistency to take you along through the process. So if there's anything that I want you guys to get from this, is the motivation helps you start and consistency gets you through it all. So you just need to think about getting 1% better each time and all the time is really all I want y'all to know.
For me, I'm going to end it with saying, in my view, I would never focus my motivation around the destination I'm trying to reach. I would focus my motivation more on the journey and what little details and steps you need to hit to get to that destination.
Sounds good.
Because at the end of the day, wherever you want to be doesn't fucking matter unless you're taking the steps to get there.
That's right.
So you need to focus your motivation on what am I getting done and accomplished on Monday, and then you need to take that to Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then next month, and then the next year, and then the next 5 years. That's where you need to put your motivation, because then, like he said, it comes down to consistency.
Yeah.
Right? So then that rolls into that consistency pattern of, I've been successful Monday, Tuesday, why would I not be successful Wednesday? I've been successful for the past 90 days. I've gotten better every single day for the past 90 days.
I need 90 more.
Now it's a habit. Now in your head you're like, I'm already going to get that other 90. It's going to be 180. It's going to be 2 years by the time I even blink, right? By the time I really start focusing on what I'm doing. So that's what I want everybody to get from it, is that, it's like everybody says, it's not the destination, it's all about the journey. But you need to focus your motivation and all your effort on that journey, not the destination. Because if you want to get $1 million, you have to start by getting one. If you never get one, you'll never get to $1 million. So you need to frame your days and frame your motivation to continue into that consistency based on your details and day-to-day life. That's what I would say.
I agree, 100%. I think even Confucius said it, the journey of 1,000 steps starts with one.
Yeah.
And that's the whole premise of this video.
Yeah.
All it starts with is one.
Yeah, just one.
And that's it.
That's episode 2, guys. Empire Podcast. We're going to be doing episode 3 here very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. Hope y'all caught the first episode. If you didn't catch it, you need to go watch it. I think it was a pretty good one. It was, like I said, it was based on the question of what's the difference between a business person and an entrepreneur. And I think we got some pretty good feedback from it. A lot of people started viewing different things and giving us their views as well. So go ahead and give us your view on motivation and consistency, and let us know kind of how you would answer the question, either for yourself or someone else you know.
Yeah, and if you guys have anything else, if you guys have anything specific that you guys want us to talk about, let us know. If you guys also want to be a guest, let us know. We'll try and get you in there, but people are coming on. Spots are filling fast.
We have some content stacked for y'all. Yeah. We got some fire coming for everybody watching these, and for the future listeners or watchers, right? Vice versa. So
thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.